Hello everyone, welcome back. My name's John Clayton. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I'm glad you're here with me today. We're still in chapter 4, going on to step 5. Um, I hope everybody's doing well today. Okay, step 5. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. The fifth step is the key to freedom. It allows us to live clean in the present. Sharing the exact nature of our wrongs sets us free to live. After taking a thorough fourth step, we deal with the contents of our inventory. We are told that if we keep those defects inside us, they will lead us back to using. Holding on to our past would eventually sicken us and keep us from taking part in our new way of life. If we are not honest when we take a fifth step, we will have the same negative results that dishonesty brought us in the past. Step 5 suggests that we admit to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. We looked at our wrongs, examined our behavior patterns, and started to see the deeper aspects of our disease. Now we sit with another person and share our inventory out loud. Our higher power will be with us during our fifth step. We will receive help and be free to face ourselves and another human being. It seems unnecessary to admit the exact nature of our wrongs to our higher power. God already knows that stuff. We rationalize, although he already knows the admissions must come from our own lips to be truly effective. Step 5 is not simply a reading of step 4. For years, we avoided seeing ourselves as we really were. We were ashamed of ourselves and felt isolated from the rest of the world. Now that we have the shameful part of our past trapped, we can sweep it out of our lives. If we face and admit it, it would be tragic to write it all down and then shove it in a drawer. These defects grow in the dark and die in the light of exposure. Before coming to Narcotics Anonymous, we felt that no one could understand the things that we had done. We feared that if we ever revealed ourselves as we were, we would surely be rejected. Most addicts are uncomfortable about this. We recognize that we have been unrealistic in feeling this way. Our fellow members do understand us. We must carefully choose the person who is to hear our fifth step. We must make sure that they know what we are doing and why we are doing it. Although there is no hard rule about the person of our choice, it is important that we trust the person. Only complete confidence in the person's integrity and discretion can make us willing to be thorough in this step. Some of us take our fifth step with a total stranger, although some of us feel more comfortable choosing a member of Narcotics Anonymous. We know that another addict would be less likely to judge us with malice or misunderstanding. Once we make a choice and are actually alone with that person, we proceed with their encouragement. We want to be definite, honest, and thorough, realizing that this is a life and death matter. Some of us try to hide part of our past in the attempt to find it an easier way of dealing with our inner feelings. We may think that we have done enough by writing about our past. We cannot afford this mistake. This step will explore our motives and our actions. We cannot expect these things to reveal themselves. Our embarrassment is eventually overcome and we can avoid future guilt. We do not procrastinate. We must be exact. We want to tell the simple truth, cut and dried, as quickly as possible. There is always a danger that we will exaggerate our wrongs. It is equally dangerous to minimize or rationalize our part in past situations. After all, we still went to a second. After all, we still want to sound good. Addicts tend to live secret lives. For many years, we covered low self esteem by hiding behind phony images that we hoped would fool people. Unfortunately, we fooled ourselves more than anyone. Although we often appeared attractive and confident on the outside, we were really hiding a shaky, insecure person on the inside. The masks have to go. We share our inventory as it is written, skipping nothing. We continue to approach this step with honesty and thoroughness until we finish. It is a great relief to get rid of all our secrets and to share the burden of our past. Usually, as we share this step, the listener will share some of his or her story too. We find that we are not unique. We see by the acceptance of our confidence that we can be accepted just the way we are. We may never be able to remember all of our past mistakes. We do, however, give it our best and most complete effort. We begin to experience real personal feelings of a spiritual nature. Where once we had spiritual theories, we now begin to awaken to a spiritual reality. This initial examination of ourselves usually reveals some behavior patterns that we don't particularly like. However, facing these patterns and bringing them out in the open makes it possible for us to deal with them constructively. We cannot make these changes alone. We will need the help of God as we understand Him, and the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous. Step 6. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Why ask for something before we are ready for it? This would be asking for trouble. So many times, addicts have sought the rewards of hard work without the labor. Willingness is what we strive for in step 6. However, sincerely we work this step will be proportionate to our desire and change. Do we really want to be rid of our resentments, our anger, our fear? Many of us cling to our fears, doubts, self-loathing, or hatred because there is a certain distorted security in familiar pain. It seems safer to embrace what we know than to let go of it, to let go of the unknown. Letting go of character defects should be done decisively. We suffer because their demands weaken us. Where we were proud, we now find we cannot get away with arrogance. If we are not humble, we are humiliated. If we are greedy, we find what we are never satisfied. Before taking steps 4 and 5, we could indulge in fear, anger, dishonesty, or self-pity. Now, indulgence in these character defects clouds our ability to think logically. selfishness. I'm sorry. Um, Selfishness becomes an intolerable, destructive chain that ties us to our bad habits. Our defects drain us of all our time and energy. We examine the four-step inventory and get a good look at what these defects are doing to our lives. We begin to long for freedom from these defects. We pray or otherwise become willing, ready, and able to let God remove these destructive traits. We need a personality change. If we are to stay clean, we want to change. We should approach old defects with an open mind. We are aware of them, and yet we still make the same mistakes and are unable to break the bad habits. We look at the fellowship for the kind of life that we want for ourselves. Life, we ask ourselves, I'm sorry, I did it again. We ask our friends, did you let go? Almost without exception, the answer is yes. To the best of my ability, when we see how our defects exist in our lives and accept them, we can let go of them and get on with our new life. We learn that we are growing when we make new mistakes instead of repeating old ones. When we are working step 6, it is important to remember that we are human and should not place unrealistic expectations on ourselves. This is a step of willingness. Willingness is the spiritual principles of step 6. Step 6 helps us move in a spiritual direction. Being human will wander off course. Rebellion is a character defect that spoils us here. We need not lose faith when we become rebellious. Rebellion can produce indifference or intolerance, which can be overcome by the persistent effort that we keep asking for. Asking for that. We ask another member who says, "You're right, where you're supposed to be." We renew our readiness to have our defects removed. We surrender to the simple suggestions that the program offers us. Even though we are not entirely ready, we are headed in the right direction. Eventually, faith, humility, and acceptance replace pride and rebellion. We come to know ourselves. We find ourselves growing into mature consciousness. We begin to feel better as willingness grows into hope. Perhaps for the first time, we see a vision of our new life. When this is in sight, we put our willingness into action by moving on to step 7. Well, okay. Thank you again, everybody, for joining me today. It is October 27th today, I believe. 28th, October 28th today. So, again, my name is John Clayton. I appreciate every one of you, and I hope you come back for another reading. So take care, everybody. We'll see you again soon.